The Gibson Les Paul electric guitar. First issued on the market in 1952, this iconic guitar design has been a staple in rock music for nearly 70 years. As a teenager, I grew up idolizing players who chose this instrument. I loved the look and sound, and at the age of 15, I had finally saved up enough money to buy my own. It's been in my collection ever since. So as I mentioned, I was finally able to buy this guitar when I was 15 years old. Prior to playing this, I had an Epiphone SG and a Squier Strat. That was my first guitar. But this was my first professional level instrument. And I can't even tell you how excited I was to finally get it. You know, I'd been saving up for so long, I wanted one of these guitars so bad. I used to just fall asleep every night looking at pictures of Les Pauls and put my background to pictures of Les Pauls. I was really obsessed with the instrument, so to finally get one of my own was a dream come true. Fast forward to the present day, I've now owned this guitar for 13 years, and we've been through a lot together. As you can see, there's tons of scratches and dings all over it, just from all the touring we've done. Notably, there's also a bunch of cracks along the finish in the body, and that's from living underneath a tour bus in the Canadian winters. The extreme cold temperatures will do that to an instrument. But we've been through much more than that together, let me tell you. So the first story I'm going to share with you today is from the time that this guitar was snapped in two. So it's pretty bad, but yeah, here's the Les Paul. So seeing that old video footage still breaks my heart to this day. It's very hard to watch, but I've gotten over it since. The story is that I had a show in Pittsburgh that I was playing, and we flew to Pittsburgh to play the show. I got my guitar in Pittsburgh on the conveyor belt at the airport. Right away I noticed that the case was just wrecked. So I was like, oh my god. I went to open the case, afraid of what I would find inside, and sure enough, there it was. The guitar was completely broken. It was terrible. After my initial panic subsided and I recovered from my miniature heart attack, I was able to think clearly, and luckily I was able to borrow a guitar for the show, so the show wasn't a problem. The show went on fine. But when I got back home, I found a local luthier who was able to repair the guitar, and they somehow managed to glue it all back together. It was a big job, and honestly, I didn't even think it would be possible. I thought the guitar was broken beyond repair, but no, they did a fantastic job. As you can see, there's a bunch of visual marks from where the guitar was broken, and you can see where it was glued back together. So it does look a little rough there, but to be honest, it plays just like brand new, and if I close my eyes, I can't even tell that there was ever a break. The second horrible story I'm going to share with you today, if that first one wasn't bad enough, was the time that this guitar was stolen from me and pawned for drug money. Thinking back to this event still stresses me out, and it's actually hard for me to even talk about, but here's the story. So I came home from a tour one time. Now I was playing a different guitar on that particular tour. This one stayed at home. When I got home from that tour though, this guitar was nowhere to be found. It wasn't in my bedroom where I had left it. It was nowhere in the apartment. I was obviously very worried that somebody had stolen it, that there had been a break-in or something. Now, I had a super sketchy roommate at the time, and with no visible signs of a break-in, I was pretty sure that he was the culprit. When I confronted him about it, of course he said that he didn't know anything about it, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. After about a week of investigation, many sleepless nights, tons of stress, and eventually getting the police involved in the whole thing, the roommate eventually did confess to stealing the guitar while I was away and pawning it for drug money, if you can believe that. So, you think you know a guy. So as you can see, I do have the guitar back in my possession. Luckily, pawn shops have a rule that they have to hold an item for 40 days before they can resell it, basically to prevent this exact thing from ever happening. So the roommate was able to get the guitar back for me. We parted ways though, he moved out, of course. I haven't spoken to him since, but at the end of the day, I'm just thankful to have this guitar back in my possession. So as you can see, me and this guitar have been through a lot together. The sentimental value that I hold for this thing is just through the roof. So to commemorate the good times we've had, I'm now going to share some old gig photos of me playing this guitar from the time I got it until most recently. So I hope you'll take a trip down memory lane with me in order of oldest to newest. Let's check these out. So here's a photo of me playing in a local restaurant in my hometown. I think I would have been probably in grade 9. And what's funny about this photo is I feel like nowadays I look more like the drummer in this photo than I do like myself, which is just hilarious. In this photo, I think I would have been in grade 12, so I would have been like 17. And this was around the time I started thinking about, oh, I should probably maybe get some tattoos soon, you know? So I remember I put this fake tattoo on my arm just because I wanted to see what it would feel like to have something there. So this one would have been probably a few months after high school. And you can see I'm getting the look together a little more. I got the black jeans, looking a little more like a rock star. Here's another photo from the same performance. And you can see I finally did get that tattoo in that spot. This would have been maybe 1 or 2 years after that. Yeah, just rocking the Les Paul. Check out that makeup look there, and I think this one was actually my Twitter profile picture for a long time too. Fast forward a few more years, I would have been about 23 in this photo, and this was my first bus tour. And it's cool, like our instruments go through these moments of life with us. It's like going through a relationship with your partner, your significant other, or anyone in your life. We feel the same things with our instruments. You know, I've been through so much with this guitar, and it's almost become a family member. Yeah, this one's from 2016, my first time playing Red Rocks Amphitheater in Denver, and it was a sold out crowd, which was amazing. This one's from 2018. Check out those pants. Here we are in 2019. This was my first ever rehearsal with Andy Black, and then here I am on tour with Andy Black. This is me playing my Les Paul inside my bunk on the tour bus. So many good times with this one. Let me know in the comments below an object of yours that you hold dear to your heart. I'd love to read your stories. I'm Lonnie Eagleton. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.